thinking big picture too? Like I want to make sure I make it through all of this.
Yeah,
fall, so.
yeah, no, 100%. I mean, that's definitely in the back
Yeah.
of my mind. I mean, first thing is the team, but I need to be fully healthy to be able to maximize my help to the team.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Is there anything you've done to kind of accommodate that back? I know some guys take up yoga. Like, what works for you to kind of keep that back loose?
I've been doing a lot of Pilates on the Pilates machine we have in there, so that's been kind of my home for the past.
It's a different kind of jam.
Yeah, no, it's definitely different than what I'm used to. Not a lot of big people do Pilates, but I'm blazing a new trail there. So no, but I've been just doing a lot of stretching, a lot of stuff since the season ended that I can just get the strength back. A lot of different core work and stuff. Coach Davis has got me right in the weight room, so. It's been really good, just strengthening it up and getting back to full speed where I feel like I can actually play at my max potential and continue to improve.
With this whole offensive line coming back, I mean, what was the first domino to fall there? Sala said it was kind of you, and then a lot of guys kind of based their decision off you coming back. Can you take us through that timeline?
Yeah. I mean, I always thought I was coming back. I didn't really. I mean, when they asked me if I was coming back, I was like, oh yeah, and then somebody like tweeted it out, and I was like, oh, I didn't think it was that. I always thought I was coming back, so I didn't think it was a question, but. No, it was good, kind of recruiting the guys back. Like, hey, we should, just one more year for all of us. So, obviously the big ones were Sala and TJ. We got Sala back, and originally he was obviously going to leave, but getting him back was huge. And we just kind of gave our best recruiting pitch to TJ and stuff, and we kind of got shorted out a year in the 2020, so we felt like we didn't. Ryan and I got hurt last year, so it's like we haven't gotten a full season altogether healthy. So. Next year's going to be our year, I think.
You have played so much with Ryan, with TJ.
Yeah.
So when you do, as you're easing back in out there, just how comfortable, obviously there's new stuff you're learning too. So what's the balance there? How comfortable do you feel based on your familiarity with those guys versus being uncomfortable because it's a lot of new stuff?
Yeah, I think with the new guys, it's like, hey, we all know like relatively the same amount. Like we've all been around, we've played a lot of football, so we can understand like concepts and stuff, but it's for all of us. It's like we're all at kind of the same level of like understanding the offense, and we're getting there to where we can, eventually master the offense, which is the ultimate goal before game one or by the end of spring ball actually. It does bring a comfort level where it's like, hey, we played a lot of ball together, but we all are on the same page right here. We don't know everything about this offense, so I think that's kind of a comforting thing where like, hey, we're all at the same level. We're all going to make mistakes, and I think it helps the young guys too. Like, hey, I'm going to make a mistake on this play because like. Versus a certain front, we got to change whatever it may be, and so I think that's good for the young guys to see. Like, hey, I can make a mistake, Ryan can make a mistake, TJ can make. We're all going to make mistakes, and that's okay. You just got to correct it.
How about, and you did lose a couple guys. So when like Ope works in there, when Big Mark works in there, just how do you feel about their progress?
Yeah, they've came a long way. They really, I thought those two especially really made a jump last season. In fall camp you kind of see it like, okay, it's it's starting to click there a little bit, and then by the end of the season, they've gotten a ton of reps, and it's like, hey, these guys can play. So like right now, seeing them get reps and taking some reps off the older guys and having them get to go in there, that's that was huge for them, and it's been great to see. Because I've met with them, I've done early meetings, we've done late night like individual drill, we've done everything with them, and so it's cool to see that starting to pay off, and then them to see that those dividends pay off is big because that'll boost their confidence, and they've done a great job.
Do you see anything from this offense? Oh, it's early yet. That gives you a lot of hope and excitement about the. You'll do as better or you'll improve on last year as far as the offense. Yeah. There's a lot of wrinkles to the offense as there is the defense as well. So I think for us it's just going to be a really dynamic offense. Some schemes carry over, but a lot of different terminology for us and a lot of different adjustments. So I think it'll allow our young receivers. We got some athletes out there that'll be able to play fast and really utilize them definitely in this offense. And we got a lot of good running backs too, tight ends. So I could go on and on about that. But yeah.
When you said you felt at times like a freshman, was that based upon some of the schematic and just learning the terminology? Is that what that was?
Yeah, it was more just you hear a play and you're like, okay, I got it. And so
it's the first time in a while I've had to do that.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like, hey, okay, like the last time we had to learn an offense was 2 years ago, and it was like that one. I felt like same thing. I felt like a freshman again. Then I was like, okay, I can kind of study it, and we had nothing to do over quarantine, so I pretty much just read the playbook the entire time. So kind of mastered that one pretty quick. But with classes and stuff right now, it's hard to get it all in. But I think once we get a better feel for it, we're gonna start playing a lot faster and not having that hesitation. Like I said, we're like, okay, what is this play, and then kind of tell it to each other, but we'll be good.
How did Mirrorball, there was such an emphasis on positional kind of versatility and cross training. Is that still kind of present with Clemmer? What does that look like?
Yeah, I think a little bit. You know, if your guys go down, he'll kind of slide some guys around, but not as drastic. I think it's more like with this spring, we got to develop at the positions we're at. So just kind of keeping guys at one position, letting them actually develop at that position instead of kind of flipping around. That would kind of not hinder their development a ton, but it'll, I guess, delay a little bit of progress with if you're moving from right guard to left guard or right guard to left tackle. Like, you know how it is. So I think for those guys, just, you know, being able to stay in one position, and the majority of the O-line just playing one position, you've seen a lot of strides and improvement.
What have you seen from when Jackson's bouncing back and forth as he has these last couple of weeks? Just how difficult is that? I mean, you've changed positions, but he's going, you know, offense to defense and back to offense. What have you seen from him here so far this year?
Yeah, no, I just tell him he's just a football player. He'll play wherever. So he's you know, he's been doing really good. I thought he was, you know, he's a really talented D lineman too. I think just naturally he's really good at that because he's probably one of the strongest players on our team. And I think him going from offense to defense obviously is really impressive, especially for his age, just being his second spring. He enrolled early last year, so his second spring. Him being able to do that is very impressive, and you know he showed good things on both sides of the ball. So I'm excited for him.
When Ope was filling in particular for you last week when you were limited, just what have you seen from him? Why is he different now? How is he different now than he was even a year ago?
I think you can just see when you watch him play, he's just not really thinking a whole lot, which is a good thing. I know that might not sound like a good thing, but he's just reacting, and he's more dictating the action than letting the defensive line dictate it to him. So he's dictating the speed of the game to them. And I think that's the biggest thing you can see from his game is just he's moving a lot faster, and that's a big dude. So he's moving a lot of weight, and he's moving it fast.
One of the new guys who you go up against is Taki. Just what has he brought to that room? What is his skill set? I think you've played against him before he got here, but
no, he's he's as strong as an ox. He's a big dude, obviously. Really sharpening his skills as a pass rusher, I think. Obviously, he's fantastic against the run because he's ginormous and just take up double teams. But he's really improved, I think, on his hands. Is like anchoring down against double teams. I think he's really made some strides, and it's been really good going against him because we haven't always had a guy like that. Obviously, since like Jordan, who's like a true zero technique. So for me to go against him every day, it's been really good for both of us, I think.